Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome to another Eafc 24 video. Today we're going to start predicting some players that I think are going to get upgrades in the Premier League for FC24. So today I've picked 6 players that I think have got a pretty good chance of getting some form of upgrade, whether it's a big upgrade or just a bit of an upgrade. And I'm going to go through what I think their cards could look like. And yeah, that's basically going to be the primary premise of the video, seeing if I can predict some upgrades. Let's see how we do. If you do go on to enjoy this, then please leave a like, hit the sub button for more FC24 content. And of course, comment down below if there's another league or specific players and stuff you'd like to see, because I can make some short form videos about them. Or of course, I can make full videos. I plan on doing at least one of these for each of the major leagues. We might also throw in a couple of other leagues with some big players transferred there recently. That's probably a bit of an easy hint as to some of those leagues. But today we're covering the Prem. Let's get into player number 1. So to start off with, we're going to be looking at the man on the thumbnail. As you can see, Mr. Erling Haar. This guy is going to be unreal, and I've given him a +3 on his 88 gold in FIFA 23. I think 91 makes sense for me. Him getting a huge upgrade. It's A, very much justified, and B, just... if anything, I'd love to give him higher rated. I just don't see EA giving him more than a 91. Looking at his card, again, these stats are predicted. I do this with most FIFAs, where I do player predictions at the start of it and, you know, go through what I think the cards could look like. And I kind of base them every year off of how EA tend to do their upgrade mechanics through each FIFA. So I tend to be at least relatively accurate with a lot of the predictions if they get those ratings, of course. But I think this card is going to be absolutely disgusting for the start of the year. Haaland as an 88 was unreal on FIFA 23. FC 24, if he gets a 91, he's going to be ridiculously good. Plus, with how easy it is to get chemistry this year, with a lot of different cards, with what we've seen with how the chemistry system is going to be different. Again, if you want to see a specific video on that, then do let me know, because there are similarities, but there's a couple of boosts with a couple of different card types that I will happily talk about if you guys want to hear more about it. But this Haaland card, if he gets a 91, he is going to be unreal. 91 pace, 92 shooting with 90 physicality would be an absolute joke. Decent enough dribbling. The agility and balance will obviously be a little bit low, but it won't be anything ridiculously low. He'll still be disgustingly good. And as we heard from the gameplay deep dive, lengthy is basically going to be back. So Haaland is going to be disgusting again, I'm sure. Let's go into player number 2, and I am looking at the newly transferred Nkunku at Chelsea. I've predicted him to get just a +1. Now, with the amount of special cards this guy's had over the last couple of seasons, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people would expect him to get an even bigger boost than this. I was a little bit torn between 87 and 88, but regardless, he's getting an upgrade. I don't see him staying at an 86. He very easily could get an 88, but the stats I've predicted are for what I think will be an 88 rated card. I think his shooting will be a tad low for an 87 rated centre forward, but yeah, it was a tough one for me to call. I'd like to see the physicality get a bit of a bigger boost, but again, I'm basing on how EA tend to upgrade cards rather than what I think he should get. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've watched Nkunku all season. I haven't. That would be a lie. But I do think he's going to be very good. Him moving to the Prem, I think, just gives more value to his card. And he started life pretty well at Chelsea. He's got 2 goals in his first 2 pre-season friendlies with the club. And I don't see him really slowing down. I think he's going to be the sort of central attacking option that Chelsea have been missing over the last season or 2. I think he's going to come in and get goals galore. He's most definitely going to be a one to watch card. And if he isn't, then EA are absolutely mental, because I think he's going to get a lot of special cards, because I think he's going to get the service at Chelsea, and I think Poch is really going to bring that together. But I think Nkunku is going to be a very viable card at the start of the game. I think he will need some sort of either, whether it's a chem style or there's new like traits and things you can add, or play styles, whatever they're called. I forget, my apologies. But I think, again, this card will be very good at the start of the game. And I've heard position modifiers aren't a thing anymore. So that centre forward position isn't going to be a huge problem if you don't want to start a centre forward, because I assume at the very least you'll be able to move into cam or striker. Either way, I think Nkunku's going to be unreal for the start of the game, and I expect only a little cheeky +1, but I do expect an upgrade. Card number 2, this time we're looking at a +2. And again, I could have maybe gone with the +3, but we're going to be looking at Odegaard. He had a truly phenomenal season at Arsenal, and I was a little bit torn between going with an 86 or an 87. With a lot of these cards, I've erred on the side of caution rather than going with like if I was stuck between two numbers, on most of them I've gone with the lower of the two numbers. There's one where I did go with the higher of the two numbers, but we'll get to him later. But the Norwegian Cam coming in with a pretty nice looking starter card. I know 79 pace isn't ridiculous, but there's been plenty of cards that I found this year that pace isn't really the end of the world if you're looking to find someone creative. If they've got the pass or they've got the ability to sort of, that high dribbling, just do a little bit of R1 dribbling or just left stick dribbling to take it past a player and then find a ball to somebody else. I haven't found pace a huge problem, especially at the start of the game. And if he has the season like he has in real life, we can expect plenty of special cards coming for him as well. But I think 86 is a fair card for him to get. Again, I was tempted with 87, but I thought, I think less people will get mad at me in the comments if I go for an 86, so I went with an 86 card. But 87 passing, 86 dribbling is what I've predicted for him as well. Again, like I say, the pace a little bit low, shooting maybe a touch low, but I just feel like, again, through how EA do it, I don't think they'll give it a crazy boost. It would be nice to see a big boost to his shooting and to his physicality. Those would be the two stats I'd like to see boosted mainly. But regardless, I think his card will be very good for the start of the game. Sadly, it's the kind of card that will become fodder down the line. But I do think for the early parts of FIFA, this card will be very usable. On to card number 4, a card that I think is going to be ridiculously priced at the start of the game. We're talking about Marcus Rashford. I've gone with an 85, and I feel like a lot of United fans will be livid I didn't go with an 86, but I was torn between an 85 and an 86. And the player after this, instead, I was torn between an 85 and an 86, but the player after this is the one I've gone with, the 86 instead of the 85. So I'm sure I'm going to upset a few people, but this card will be disgusting at the start of the game. 90 pace, I'd be surprised if it's any less than that. 89 maybe, but I'm going with a 90 pace. He's getting a big old +4 from his 81 card that he got in 23. He's shown that he really, really is the player that we know and love of Marcus Rashford. I think he gets overlooked a lot because at the moment he's not getting the game time necessarily for England, and I think a lot of people kind of don't compare him as much to some people as they should. But for me, at United, Rashford is absolutely unreal. I'd love to see him play a little bit more for England as well because he really does offer something. I'm going with 84 pace. With him being a left winger, that's going to be disgustingly good because, again, I'm going to assume you can convert him to a striker. And I think a lot of people you'll see running early doors a hunter, if that's still a thing, chem style or whatever boosts pace and shooting. Just have an absolutely rapid Marcus Rashford running through on your defence with great shooting, great dribbling, good physicality for a wide player as well, decent enough passing. I think early doors, this card is going to be absolutely disgusting, super easy to get on chemistry, but I do think he's going to be very, very pricey because that as a starter card is unreal. You've got to bear in mind his 81 was sat at like 40 or something thousand coins minimum, I'm fairly sure, for a good while. So I'd be surprised if this guy's not expensive, but I'll tell you now, I'd love a Marcus Rashford in my starter team for FC24. Now looking at a player on the right, but looking at a player that I went for the 86 instead of the 85, I'm going with Saka, aka Starboy. He's also got a +4. That was kind of my thought process. I've given them both the same upgrade, right? Like, if Saka was an 81 on FIFA 23, I probably would have also given him an 85. But he started at an 82, so I'm guessing he's going to go up to an 86. Now, again, either of those cards can be 85s or 86s, so Man United fans don't hate me. There was method to my madness. But again, this card looks unreal. Slightly less pace than Rashford, less shooting, but the passing and dribbling, again, for a winger, absolutely fantastic. Looking real, real nice. Plenty of pace as well. It's not like the pace is lacking. I don't expect to be able to see a Saka that can play centrally up front, but I do expect a right wing option, potentially a left mid or left wing option. Not too sure, but definitely that right hand side. And again, this is going to be a card that you'd love to get early on because it'll be super usable. Again, a card I'd absolutely love to see and I'd absolutely love to use. Let me know, Arsenal and United fans, did I get those the right way round? Would you say they should be the same rating? I've given them the same boost, which I think is maybe the fairest way to do it, or in my mind, the right way to do it. But let me know in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys would say about those two. And let me know as well, any of these cards so far that really stand out to you that you'd absolutely love to have in your starting team, who would be your favourite? But let's get on to the last card of today's video. This final card is a card that's not just getting an upgrade in regards to their rating, but a big change in their position. I've gone with John Stones as a CDM, 86 rated. Now, you might think I'm a little bit mad with giving him such a big boost, but I'm telling you now, John Stones is a Rolls Royce of a CDM. He is absolutely phenomenal there. Now, I do expect to see him also able to play at centre-back because obviously he's played there for such a long period of time. But Pep Guardiola, the bold magician, has done an absolute masterclass with John Stones moving him into CDM. He is so good there, and I honestly would be surprised if he gets anything less than an 86. I was kind of torn between maybe an 85, I guess, potentially. I toyed with an 87 in my head, but I thought, you know what, let's keep it sensible. +3 and a position change. I think that works really well. Again, stats-wise, for a CDM, I think he's going to be phenomenal. Like, the shooting's low, but that's not a problem. Pace is decent. It's nothing crazy. He has had a small boost based on his 83 card. I didn't go through the roof, but I don't think he's particularly slow. But he's not a rapid sort of player, but he's not a slow player, you know. Quick for a centre-back, I'll put it that way. But decent passing, decent dribbling, solid defending, good physicality. I see this guy being super usable, kind of being like Rodri was at the start of 23, but with a bit more pace. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. So I think he will have value. A 75 rated defensive midfielder early on is super valuable, super viable. And again, super easy for chemistry, easy links, easy chemistry, easy choice to me. John Stones, 86. And again, I'm confident with that one. I think that fits it really well. But those are the 6 cards for today's video. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments with how I got on with these ratings. Do you think I've done well here? Do you think I've been a bit crazy with some? Are there any that you think are, Tom, you're absolutely bang on? Are there any that you think, Tom, you're absolutely off your rocker, mate? Let me know in the comments down below. And as I said at the start of the video, let me know if there's any particular players or leagues you'd like to see me with some other options. I have got a full list of cards that I have made and graphics that hopefully, by the way, the graphics I've used hopefully look okay. I am no graphical editor, but or graphics designer, that's the word I meant. But I've tried my best to make it look you know, somewhat good. Hopefully you guys liked it. Let me know in the comments down below. And again, I will do my best to get these out a little bit more consistently. And if you guys want to see these, then I'll make sure to get them there. And the way to let me know that you have enjoyed this is leaving a like on the video. Supports me, the video, and the channel out a whole bunch. If you're new, hit the sub button and turn notifications on to be told anytime that we upload a video. If you want to watch our live streams, Hursty Games over on Twitch and on TikTok, links to both are down below, along with short form content, obviously on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Hopefully you enjoy them. But that's all for me. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you very soon. Look after yourselves, and of course, wash your hands. Take care.